He's better than your favorite rapper.
I definitely agree with a lot of the points this guy made right here, but I think two things can be true at once. And what I mean by that is, when you say, you know, Wayne lacks substance, can you even define substance? Like, what does substance mean? The real definition of substance is like
What does that mean?
water in a bottle.
Nah, I feel like, look, my whole opinion, a motherfucker can just, again, this whole parasocial thing, it has existed way before, you know, way before its blow up time right now. It's just like it has a whole lot of buzz right now, right? It's a buzzword right now. Parasocialism has been there since Wayne and them's time. Facts. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, people would, like, I feel like this parasocialism, how it showed itself though, in Wayne's time, is that I think people would want you to relate a story that would touch them and connect with them personally before they would be like, yo, nah, you got substance, like, it's deep, it's like what you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I mean, J. Cole, he killed that type of thing, where it's like a whole lot of people, even on the main, right, industry, like mainstream kind of front, he still kept his sound where it's like, yo, it's not really about the excitement of the production and the beat and the knocking of this, then I just want to tell these stories and make sure that they, you know, connect to my audience's soul. You feel me? He didn't feel like he wanted to lose that in terms of, you know, with, you know, now considering the fact that he was in the mainstream, he didn't want to lose that. So he got it right. You feel what I mean? And so then now it's like, with people like Wayne, bruh, like that version of fuck, where was I going with this? Damn, J. Cole threw me off. Fuck, getting him in the conversation threw me off. God damn. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, wait, let me let it play on. I'll probably remember what I was gonna say.
When you say, you know, Wayne lacks substance,
Oh yeah,
can you even define
fuck, nigga, substance. Right? It's the substance thing. So with the whole substance thing, people are selfishly expecting you to relate to their own experience, you know, connect with their soul. It's like I'm not gonna be able to connect with everybody, you know what I'm saying, on a personal level like that, one-on-one. Some other people like you talking about, you know, you smashing a whole bunch of broads, like in an area code. Like there's like actually grown men that like hearing about those things. There's grown men that talk about those things. There's grown men that like make their money trying to get those things, you know, like more money, more jewelry, cars, you know what I'm saying, access to more drugs. Feel me? It's like, and Wayne did all of that, and he related to those people. Those people might consider him having had substance, you know. And then he has tracks like Don't Cry featuring Triple X, and then obviously that's substance to another sort of crowd, right? To the sad boys, to the boys feeling like giving up and things. Like, come on, bro, like what this man ain't do.
Substance, like, what does substance mean? The real definition of substance is like water in a bottle, fluids and organs in your body, the protons and neutrons and molecules and electrons and all that crap that's in physical tangible objects, right?
I study
crap
battles for a living.
But when you define substance in terms of lyrics in music, like, where do we draw the line, right? Is substance defined by lyrical depth, like how far you'll go into exploring different rhyme schemes, metaphors, how thought-provoking your wordplay is? Or do we take it a step further and say, artists only really have substance when they're bringing an element of either social commentary, storytelling, or, you know, some emotion or vulnerability that,
and let's not get it twisted, Wayne had all of those,
that goes beyond the typical superficial themes that we see not just in rap music, but, you know, a lot of pop music in general, from money, partying, intercourse, etc., right? And then if we want to take it one step further, all right, I think Wayne personally checks off every single box of things that I just mentioned, criteria that could constitute substance within music. But what LaRussell was saying, and, you know, the core of this debate is, was that substance within Wayne's music a net positive for his listeners, right? Were the stories he was telling, the complex punchlines, rhyme schemes, the times that he opened up and got vulnerable?
That's what I'm saying. Other people related to that. Other people found that exciting. To them, that's like good substance. That's And I feel like even substance, we can chalk it up to things that you can replay, you know, replay value, shit that's replayable, right? Wayne had all of that. You know what I mean? I feel like another theory is the fact that, you know, the young people that now are understanding the world in a deeper way are now getting Wayne when he's not, you know, Carter 4, Carter 5 Wayne, when Wayne is not like too, you know, excited, too invested, too open when it comes to like this rap thing anymore. Now they like, yo, nah, he's just like this unk that's out here like that, you know, talked about nothing and things like that. We gotta understand that times have changed, different things affect you now, and the things that he was like, he would dive deep on in terms of social commentary, you know what I mean, and you know, things that affect people on a political level. The politics of when he was hot was different. You know what I'm saying? So how he touched people's hearts, and you listening back to that right now, you're like, what? Like, okay, cool. That's all right. You know what I mean? But at the time, it meant something. You know what I'm saying? And now you growing up in this time where you're an adult now, and these things he never touched on. These is new issues right now, right? For example,
on records or told stories or had commentary about his city, his people, the world, etc. Was he coming from a place of, let me try and deliver a positive message here? And if that was his goal, was he successful in doing so?
I start maturing as a human, and I'm like, damn, this wasn't talking about nothing. All the gun bar and shit. Right. Like, I've seen the negative that he contributed to the community, and I had to look like, man, what are the songs where he really talked about something and gave? And out of a 1,000-song catalog, you know, it's minute on this end.
Well, it's kind of unclear, right? Because on one end, Wayne's main goal, his top priority for like 10 years of his career was to be known as the best rapper alive, right?
Yeah.
And I think that he studied the game enough to know that being the best rapper stretches far and long beyond just being a great writer, right? I mean, Wayne really only became the best rapper alive and started calling himself that once he realized that his idol, Jay-Z, never wrote his rhymes down. So Wayne was literally not writing, right? And then Wayne was only taken seriously as the quote-unquote best rapper alive when he had kind of hit his commercial peak in around 2007, 2008, which was another factor beyond just writing that made him the greatest rapper, right? It was all that success and influence and impact that he was having.
Yeah. And you even saw like the skip in his step in that Amelie video, bro. There was like a certain skip in his step, a certain sparkle in his eyes, man. I feel like, yo, right now, bro, it's not only Wayne. A whole lot of people have lost the spark to life, bro. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't just be Wayne. It wouldn't just be reflected in Wayne's music, right? And people that like, nah, let me leave that alone. I was gonna be like, yo, people who still do got that spark may be performative as fuck, right? Because, you know, that runs up the capital, that excites people. And whatever excites people, you know, gives you a chance to run up their pockets.
HIPHOP, and I ain't dead, I'm alive.
I say that to say, when Wayne set out on that mission to become the best rapper alive, I think he knew that part of that title meant that he'd be looked at as a thought leader, someone who moves the culture forward, and therefore you have to come with not just sonic, but also lyrical diversity. And you most definitely got that from Wayne, right? Like, at the height of him being the best rapper alive, he literally made a song where he was cosplaying as a doctor, pretending to save hip-hop and save these quote-unquote whack rappers who were on their deathbed. And ironically, with all this talk about Wayne's substance kind of being a negative impact on the youth, literally in this song, one piece of advice that he gives rappers is to quote-unquote watch what we say. Because the kids do watch. Gotta work every day, gotta not be cliche, gotta stand out like Andre 3K, gotta kick it like a sensei. And just to go back to that story I told you guys earlier on in this video, just like Lil Russell and probably many of you guys watching, I was a kid growing up during Lil Wayne's prime years, right? And while there was a lot of music, a lot of CDs that my mom probably didn't approve of, but was nice enough to let me listen to in her car while she drove me to school or wherever, Dr. Carter, that was one of several Lil Wayne songs that she was even able to appreciate as well when she heard me playing it in the car. Like, she'll still bring it up to this day. Like, yeah, Lil Wayne, that's the one who pretended to be a doctor on that song, right? She loves a Millie too, but that's beside the point.
Oh, Lil Wayne's just too good. Oh, Lil Wayne's just too good.
Anyways, I say that to say it was obvious with songs like Dr. Carter and a lot of other records from this time period that Wayne was well aware of what it took to be the best rapper alive, and part of that was having substance, and beyond just having substance, you had to have some sort of positive message or influence within your music and challenge yourself to touch on more complex concepts, to speak on real world issues, to open up more, get more emotional. And so we saw that from Wayne. People who really followed his career closely are probably really angry on Twitter right now and would tell you that they felt that from Wayne.
Born in New Orleans, raised in New Orleans, I will forever remain faithful New Orleans.
But at the same time, when you look at his mainstream career, like if you did give Wayne one of those Super Bowl halftime type of performances where he can only perform like his biggest, most iconic songs, you're gonna get a lot of subject matter related to kitty cats, money, violence, guns, etc. So for someone kind of just looking at the grand scope of Wayne's career and his
as in like for the most part you'll get that. Right.
Monstrous run from a surface level, you're going to say, yeah, he never really had much substance, right? And a lot of the substance was negative. And I really say this is a very interesting conversation because it poses so many different questions, like some that we don't even have time in this video to fully touch on, like things like what makes substance positive or negative, right? Like when Wayne's rapping about his drug addiction, is he telling people to go do drugs, or is he just documenting?
Actually, for, you know, just for research purposes, put it down in the comments who you think got substance in terms of in their music, right? Because I'm pretty sure people may just even coin Triple X and Tentacion to have had positive substance or substance at all. You know what I'm saying? Tell me what you think about, you know, Joe Budden. Like, what kind of substance are we talking about? And I feel like I could almost bet a lot that people, you know, may be like, yo, J. Cole got a proper substance, Kendrick, you know, that substance there. And so I'm starting to like get the picture that, yeah, maybe the whole substance conversation might lean towards you know, your music having more social commentary, like people that, I mean, subject matter that affects people at a, you know, collective level, like societally, you know what I'm saying, politically maybe, right?
And really opening up about these struggles that he's endured. Hustler music, when he's talking about, you know, going out and getting it,
not just selfishly, right,
by any means necessary, can that be viewed as a violent call to action or as a motivational anthem for people who maybe grew up in similar conditions to, I'm assuming, a lot of Wayne's childhood friends in New Orleans, or the, you know, hustlers that he was surrounded by at Cash Money Records?
Yeah.
With my daddy on my mind, how the hell you ain't here to see your prince do his thing? Sometimes I wanna drop a tip, but no emotions from a kid.
Come on, bro. This nigga
the same way when we look at 50's
career,
right? When you
like,
look,
this nigga got so many songs. What's that one even called, bro?
Look at Eminem's greatest years. There was a lot of struggle, a lot of pain in those lyrics, right? But that derived from real experiences in these rappers' lives, and it's a skill in and of itself to be able to document such dark moments or thoughts or stories in such a beautiful way. But back to Wayne, and if, you know, he ever had substance or if he was a negative influence or not. See, why I had said it was a double-edged sword is because while Wayne definitely understood what it took to be the best rapper alive and had many, if not all, of the components of it, at the same time, at the height of his career, Wayne made it very clear that he did not intend on being a positive role model for anyone other than his two kids.
Do you ever think
He did say that.
God, I have a 10-year-old daughter
And a 2-month-old son.
and did you ever think, am I a good role model? You know, am I a good example for people on how to live their lives?
I'm not an example for people on how to live their lives, and never in my life would I ever set out to be an example for people on how to live their lives. If you need an example for how to live, then you just shouldn't have been born. And I am a great role model because I'm only a role model for 2, and that's all. So won't you worry about yours and let them worry about theirs. I got mine.
Back when Wayne was brazen Wayne, man. Kind of callous. Didn't give a fuck. Narcissistic Wayne, man. Yeah, nah, this Wayne got the people going facts.
And on a side note, he now has 3 kids, and it does seem like he did an absolutely amazing job at being a positive role model towards them. It's insane to watch them on this podcast together. Like, they all kind of look like their own little version of Wayne, and you can tell they're very bright. Like, he definitely did a good job raising them.
Y'all dad being Lil Wayne, was it hard making friends?
My first impression of school was difficult because like I would walk around and hear like, oh, that's Wade's son, and like I was little, so I didn't really get it and I didn't like it. But like once
Sorry. Oh, this nigga look like Baby Days, bro. Who thought it was Baby Days, bro? Your homework.
No, I didn't.
I loved it.
So,
well, yo, Baby Days,
I was
man,
like,
you
yes,
son, nigga.
I am Lil Wayne's daughter. Yes, everybody, get the cameras out.
Now, if you ask me personally, I definitely think Wayne has substance, and just growing up as a kid listening to his music, there were a lot of positive elements that I took from it. Were there negative ones too? Absolutely. Did things go wrong at a certain point? Absolutely. But 3 decades in, we're all human, alright? There are gonna be some mistakes along the way. And as someone, again, who was a child when Wayne was hitting his peak, buying the Carter 2 at like 9 years old,
Bro, another thing that I want to point out is the fact that, yo, like dropping your first album at 12, bro, like you know nothing outside of music at that point. You know nothing outside of just like these booths, these microphones, you know what I'm saying? These freaking fader controllers, analog, this, that, like you know nothing outside of that. And look, niching, right, might have positive results, growing results. You might be the master of the niche that you're involved in, part of, pioneered, you know what I'm saying? But then like it keeps you stuck at that level, you know what I mean? Like when it comes to maybe things that affect you economically, you know what I'm saying? Affect your pockets, affect you psychologically. Like you don't dive into any other aspect of what can, you know, grow the mind, grow the psyche. You know what I'm saying? Grow the pockets, grow the family. You know what I mean? Or sustain the family. I mean, creating a family and growing the family. These are 2 different things. And we know that these artists and, you know, these superstars, these rappers, all they do is just like plant seeds, bro. They plant seeds, right? AKA they just like drop babies. Then they're on to the next one, on to the next one, on to the... Look, I'm not trying to, you know, insinuate anything negative about Wayne. But this is a reality. You know what I'm saying? You get like a motherfucker who got like different baby mamas and a whole bunch of kids from those different baby mamas. You know what I'm saying? So their reality is there. And we know that that doesn't grow families. That actually like that it breaks them apart. It gives opportunity for black, you know, strong families not to have a place to exist in the first place. Because now, you know, you are creating a whole bunch of single mothers. You know what I'm saying? You yourself are a single father who've created a whole bunch of different, various single mothers. And, you know, how's the future supposed to look out of that, right? And so, therefore, you know, growing a family and building one is so... Oh, but then that's because all you know, you're in this bubble of just like the music. Like, okay, I'm just like the superstar, I'm him. And Wayne was that kind of artist that like would stand on that, like, yo, best rapper alive, like I'm him forever. You know what I'm saying? It's like it was stamped, bro. It felt like it may just be forever. You know what I mean? But then now you're an old man, you know, life is demanding other things from you and shit, and all you know is this music. And I'm only talking from the perspective of just like what we know about Wayne online. Maybe he is insightful about a whole bunch of other things. Okay, I know he's involved in sports. You know what I'm saying? So maybe in the world of sports, world of getting active, maybe that would be close to closely related with maybe getting fit. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he's tapped into those kind of worlds. But yo, it's a big world, man. Gotta try a whole bunch of new things. You know what I'm saying? So yes, niching and doubling down on what you're trying to master and what you want to be good at is good, and focus and hyper focusing. It's good. It has its benefits, but now it just keeps you stuck in a bubble. That's the con. You know what I'm saying? Of which maybe a pro to being a jack of all trades and a master of none is that at least you got experience in all those other trades. Do your homework. At least you can, you know, you got some understanding. You can operate when life demands these other traits from you. Like, you can deliver. You feel me?
First CD I ever owned that could be played on my own time, paid for it by my own dime, all during Wayne's own prime. You'd be a bold line, old fried fool to think that listening to Wayne's output from those peak years, 06 to like 09, that you couldn't get as much positive as you could negative out of his catalog.
Oh, cool.
What up, though?
That's just my opinion, but hip-hop has kind of been turning on Wayne, and I don't think that's for no random reason at all. So we are going to play devil's advocate here and understand how we even got to the point where people are saying that this 30-plus year career spawned, like 90% negativity. So to understand, both sides of this coin, as someone who followed Wayne's career very, very closely, I do think that there was a period of time around 2012 where he got so rich off his music, off Drake and Nicki's music, coupled with the fact that he now had 3 kids to raise, and like he told you before, he wasn't trying to be a good role model to anyone except for them.
And I am a gangster. And I am a great role model because I'm only a role model for 2. And that's all.
It was really around 2012 where we saw Wayne really detach himself from any real public issues, tragedies, social injustices, politics. I mean, we saw that in Wayne's music, and we also saw that in interviews. It was ironically a reporter asking about Wayne's daughter, one of the only people in the world that Wayne cares to be a positive influence for, when he got triggered into saying what was probably the most negative thing he has maybe ever said in his entire career, which is when he basically completely dismissed the Black Lives Matter movement.
What's your thought on Black Lives Matter?
What is it? What do you mean?
The idea is that there's this movement called Black Lives Matter, thinking that the rest of America didn't seem to understand that.
Just sounds weird. I didn't know that you put a name on it. It's not a whatever. It's somebody got shot by police for a reason. I am a young, black, rich. If that don't let you know that America understands Black matter these days, I don't know what it is. Don't come at me with that dumb man. My life matters, especially to my I don't feel connected to a damn thing that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Hey, wait, dog, what? Yeah, I can see how that may have came off distasteful. Shit.
To further emphasize how sheltered,
get out of here with that dumb shit,
and luxurious the lifestyle Wayne was living at the time, and how detached he was from what was going on in the real world. I
think that's the word, detach. It's detachment.
I believe it was in that same year that he did another interview where he said that based on white people's reception towards his music, it had led him to believe that there was no such thing as racism.
Where are we in the United States of America in race relations?
They wouldn't want to ask me that. They wouldn't want my answer to represent it because I have never dealt with racism, and I'm glad I didn't have to. Not only did I thought it was over, I still believe it's over.
Yeah, well, I feel like we can chalk it up to the fact that, Wayne was at the phase of his career and success where it's like, okay, he's still not aware. Like, his self-awareness he was lacking in self-awareness. Like, you're like a superstar now in the world, and you still gonna talk like, yeah, well, it doesn't affect me. As long as it doesn't affect me, like, what, is it a problem now? It's like, bro, you live in a world that is, more of this world has their eye on you. Yeah, no, I feel like it was a thing of, at least have consideration for what's going on in it, with it, aka the people that, like, have their eyes on you. A whole lot of them are black, and a whole lot of them would, like, be like, yeah, like, these, race relations are affecting us negatively, blah, blah, blah. At least know, so, like, but that's what I'm saying, though. The Paris socialism was crazy. During these times, crazy.
But obviously, it is. When I look out and I come up off the stage, when I'm coming out the bottom of the stage of my show, when I'm on tour, and I open my eyes and I see everybody. I don't have this type of crowd or that type. My crowd has always been everybody. Thank God. I shot myself. Police knocked on the door. I was right there. Everybody jumped over my body to go get the guns and drugs, whatever they could find. It took one guy to stop and cuss everybody that hopped over me out. Like, what the f are y'all doing? Do you not see this kid on the floor with this hole in his chest? Say, you drive. Pick me up. Brought me to the hospital. He brought me to the hospital room. He was white as snow. Them that hopped over me was blacker than me. My life was saved by a white man. I don't know what racism is. I know a good name Uncle Bob, though.
Look, and I can feel that. Like, I can feel the whole... it's like, I can only share my experience, and this is what happened. But then we got to understand that at the same time, when people, you know, would consider the whole, you know, black people are affected like this, like that, like, it wasn't like every black human being is experiencing this. And I mean, there were like exceptions where you'd have the white man come and help you out and, you know, be of benefit and convenience to your life at the moment. You know, you might do that to like a white kid or whatever, white lady, whatever, being a black man, you know. So I get the angle where he was chopping it up and saying like, yo, like in terms of my life, yo, let me tell you about my shit. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, the man that saved me from bullet holes was the white guy. You feel what I mean? But I feel like, yo, you know, that whole PR training, doesn't that whole PR training involve like you being aware of your image though, right? Your reputation. Like the Lil Wayne, who is in this interview? Is it Lil Wayne or is it Dwayne, you know, Carter? Is it what, Dwayne Sean Carter? I don't know. But is it Dwayne or is it Lil Wayne, the superstar? Right? It's Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is the public figure. Lil Wayne got to be tapped into the public and what's going on with it. Dwayne Carter got these experiences that are isolated, subjective. And that's cool. That was your life. We appreciate it. We respect it. It's what, you know, it's the result that gave us Wayne. But Wayne got to also grow, right? Wayne got to also get tapped in to what affects his image and the people that like make his image.
And I'll give you guys this, like, after the Carter 4, if you want to say that the substance in Wayne's music fell off a cliff after that, or that like 90% of the subject matter in his music after the Carter 4 was negative, I can maybe agree with you there. Like, again, this guy being the best rapper alive to me for so many years, it was very hard for me to defend I'm Not a Human Being 2 when highlights off the project included My Tongue is a Uzi, My D is an AK, or Dedication 5. After, you know, Dedication 2, we start hearing bars like Had a phone in jail, that's a cell phone. But to me, this was far after his prime, and in this period, I get it. This is when we started getting a lot more, you know, kitty cat talk from Wayne in the music.
Yeah.
Spicy.
But this was really new in 2012. Like, he was never talking about the P word this much in his music until I'm Not a Human Being 2. Like, yeah, he had the occasional song, you know, P word monster, but ironically, I had the version of the Carter 3 that had the song Playing with Fire. Drop a comment if you remember that song. So that song was actually an interpolation of a Rolling Stones song called Play with Fire, and they actually got sued for that song being on the Carter 3, so they replaced it with P-Word Monster. So as a kid, I never even heard that P-Word Monster song. I've heard people point to that song as a prime example of Wayne, you know, not really talking about much, but the irony is that the P-Word song replaced Playing with Fire, which is a song that has one of Wayne's most heartfelt, darkest performances in his entire career. Rapping bars like forced into evil, it's all in your head, it's also cerebral, call me Knievel, you follow and I lead you straight to the needles, the bottles, the battles, the Beatles will eat you, mama named Sita, I love you Sita, remember when your P-word second husband tried to beat you, remember when I went into the kitchen, got the cleaver, he ain't give a F, I ain't give a F either, he could see the devil in my features, he could smell the ether, but you can see Sita in my features and she don't play neither. That was a little tangent to highlight and emphasize what I said before, in that if you weren't following Wayne's career really closely, then you would have probably heard P-Word Monster instead of bars like this, right? And that's actually a repeated theme in a lot of aspects of Wayne's career that we'll touch on shortly. But let's go back to 2012, because again, this is when I still loved Wayne's music, just for different reasons, right? I would have never defended him as still having that best rapper alive title by 2012, because just the bare subject matter that he brought forth didn't merit that compared to, you know, let's say a Kendrick Lamar who had just dropped Good Kid, Mad City. I don't even think he was comparing to like a Kanye or a Jay-Z, who at that same period of time were...
Then again, like at that time, like one of his sons, one of his seeds was eclipsing him, right? Drake was going crazy by 2012s in them. Oh yeah, Drake was also pulling up heavy.
Kind of in the later stages of their careers. But with Wayne, it's interesting because even when, in my opinion, the subject matter kind of took a nosedive with that I'm Not a Human Being 2 and all the P-word bars that came with it, this is around the time when Wayne becomes more impactful and influential than ever before, right? And a lot of people will say that it's not just the subject matter in the music that's negative, but it's also the influence he had on the culture that was negative, right? The excessive lean drinking, walking around with the double cup everywhere, the tattoos all over your face, that makes it hard to get, you know, a corporate job. The excessive weed smoking, the excessive auto-tune. Okay, you could look at that as all negatives, but even by this point when Wayne is past his primes, there are still a lot of positives that I believe he contributed to not just hip-hop, but the world in general. I mean, I think he made the youth more inspired to skateboard during his whole truck fit era. He was literally building skate parks in his hometown.
I mean, you know, us as New Orleanians, we looked at it as just another hurricane. It wasn't. It wasn't just another hurricane. Now I built a skate park there. In the neighborhood, I built it in the neighborhood that was hit the hardest. To give them something to do.
If anything represents hope, this does it in a huge way.
I looked out the window and there was a bunch of kids with skateboards saying, can we come in? I know for a fact that 6 months ago, that kid didn't know what a skateboard did look like anything.
I think, like Wayno put it, you know, Young Money kind of aged like milk, but if you look at their overall contribution to hip-hop, I still think that's a net positive, right? I think Nicki Minaj hitting the commercial heights that she did and standing her ground on records with legends like Jay-Z and Kanye West really laid the groundwork, the blueprint or the pink print, the foundation, and kicked the doors down for the next generation of female artists to hit heights that we hadn't really seen before Nicki. Cardi B, Lotto, Megan Thee Stallion, whoever, I think they're able to be looked at in the same category as, you know, a lot of the biggest male MCs today because...
Yeah, a whole lot of Young Money, bro. A whole lot of Young Money did initiate a lot of, you know, the energy that would make hip-hop what it is. You know what I'm saying? Look at what even Drake initiated and people that, like, imitated his sound. You know, the rap singing style. You know what I'm saying? We got a whole lot of impactful artists that just like derive their shit from a Drake. You know what I mean? As you know, he's breaking down Nicki right now. Nicki, yo, a whole lot of these female rappers, bro, yo, it's worth in Nicki, facts. You know what I'm saying? Wayne himself, a whole bunch of there's this negative of a narrative around Wayne's name, but it's like, yo, the man did what he did. He influenced people in the way that he did, and you know, it's no way around it. It's a fact. You understand what I'm saying? So, a whole bunch of Young Money, bro. I feel like more of their work, you know what I'm saying? More of their God's work type contribution was to lay out. It was to, you know, blaze trails. That's a fact, bro. Give birth to a whole bunch of mini thems. You know what I'm saying?
Of the foundation Nicki laid. I could be wrong on that. I don't think I am. And then with Drake, I mean, yeah, there's some negatives you could say in terms of how he
study rap battles for a living.
There's some negatives you could say in terms of how he kind of set this standard within hip hop, at least from like the label's perspective, that you're not really an asset to them if you don't know how to sing as well. And because of the incorporation of these melodies, lyrics kind of took a backseat in mainstream hip hop for a while, but at the same time, I mean, you do have
word to the sponsors real quick. I gotta duck out real quick. Hello.
Stoic in principle, free in the physical. Growing pains my agitation, so caring reciprocal. You my sibling just because your birth was a miracle. Even my sisters know that I'm cynical. Yeah, I know that I'm a hard one to deal with. Fighting with no weapon, I'm a carved one to kill with. Marching with no movement, I'm a start one to heal with. I'm just mad reactive, but my heart ain't with the drill shit. Can't wait to grow out of this revenge sweet as honey and peaches to me. Free the magazine to dump on enemies, cause buddy, you can't do me wrong, then live to tell the reasons. I mean, this shit ain't sweet pea till life humble me from the sea, yeah. Mercurial blood vessels, my skin do shine. son of the God that under my home is the skies. Still I to argue with niggas, you pay no man. Heard me pack on you boys, I ain't telling no lie. Yeah, lie. Tell me once, can't never fool me again. Don't hate the messenger, man, hate the scene. When one thing about facts is when they hit you, feel no pain. When you swear it's about that shit that made these bitches go insane. Simping niggas most neglected, these my broskies, I'm just saying. Get the fuck up off her ass, making us look bad for my age. Of Aquarius, stop comparing this. Too mysterious, who the fuck on periods? Yeah, come back various. Yeah, shit on your areas. Cause ain't nobody bearing this like, we too inferior. Don't try, mister, I can't sleep till my brother's alright. Fuck it, can't be me, niggas dummy on side. Now it's time to eat, fellas, leave me online. But I just want her box, merry go down.